The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered has a number of new features for its PS5 release. Built for the PlayStation 5, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered enhances the original PS4 game in ways that were not possible before. Visual performance now includes a native 4K output in Fidelity mode, 1440p upscaled to 4K in performance mode, and an unlocked frame rate option for TVs that support VRR. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered also includes improved load times to let you jump right back into the action. Descriptive audio and speech to vibrations have also been added to The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered's suite of accessibility features. No Return is a new roguelike mode allowing players to experience a new way of playing the game. The game mode allows the player to use several of the characters with their very own skill sets through different set pieces within the game in a roguelike environment. Roguelike games have become much more popularized recently and offer the player a chance to run through the game earning power-ups, money, and resources to either beat a set number of levels or die and have to start all over again, losing all upgrades and material. I spent quite a bit of time running through No Return and loved how simple yet enjoyable the mode is to be able to jump right in within fun and engaging combat set pieces. Now, one run took me about 45 minutes to beat the entire thing on easy, so it gives you an idea of how long each of your runs will be, and you can jump right back in and start all over again, either with the same character or a new one. The variation, available along with the numerous characters that all come with their own set or personal skills that also change how you play. For instance, Ellie has a permanent shiv available to use on humans and infected alike. The game also has challenges associated with unlocking other characters and other cool things like new skins. Overall, this game mode is really worth the price even if you have already played through the main game before. With No Return being the biggest addition to the game, the remaster also includes a free play mode for the guitar, DualSense controller add-ons, lost levels that were cut from the game that you can play through and listen to commentary, as well as commentary for the main story. The lost levels include 3 previously cut levels, including a mission around the dance scene in Jackson, as well as an extended sewer scene and a scene where Ellie goes on the hunt for an animal. The levels aren't going to be fully developed and have some bugs and different issues with them, but stand as more of a behind-the-scenes look at some extra content. Overall, the package provided by the remaster brings with it a value besides just improved graphics. Set a few years after the events of the first game, Ellie finds herself in a diverse and perilous landscape. The game introduces players to new characters, each with their own struggles and stories. Ellie's quest takes her through abandoned cities, lush landscapes, and dilapidated structures, showcasing the remnants of a world that once thrived. The heart of the story lies in Ellie's pursuit of justice and answers, weaving a tale of revenge and redemption. The narrative unfolds non-linearly, offering glimpses into the characters' pasts and motivations, gradually revealing the complexities of their lives. Themes of love, loss, and the consequences of one's actions are intricately woven into the fabric of the story. Throughout the journey, players will face intense and emotional moments, challenging moral dilemmas and encounters with both infected creatures and human adversaries. The game's narratively driven focus allows for a deep exploration of the emotional toll of survival, creating an experience that goes way beyond traditional gaming narratives. The Last of Us Part 2 not only delivers a compelling and emotionally charged story, but also immerses players in a world where every decision and action has profound consequences. The game's rich storytelling, coupled with its well-developed characters, creates an unforgettable narrative experience in the midst of a world forever changed by the infection. The Last of Us Part 2 offers a gameplay experience that is as emotionally impactful as it is intense. The game seamlessly combines engaging mechanics with a deeply immersive narrative, creating an emotional roller coaster for all players. One of the standout features is how the gameplay intricately connects with the emotional journey of the characters. The control and responsiveness of Ellie as a playable character contribute to the sense of vulnerability and determination. Whether navigating through tense encounters with enemies or solving environmental puzzles, the gameplay remains tightly woven into the fabric of the narrative. Other great gameplay additions to the game include the guitar minigames that we mentioned before that really help absorb the player into the emotion and connection to the story. Other items like crafting and the ability to sneak with tall grass areas adds other ways of approaching each and every enemy encounter. The overtly violent gameplay is a deliberate and integral aspect of the experience. Combat is visceral, challenging, and demands strategic thinking. The brutality of encounters is not gratuitous. Instead, it serves to emphasize the harsh realities of survival in a post-apocalyptic world. The emotional weight of each action is palpable, making players consider the consequences of their choices. One interesting aspect to really bring the player in through the brutal gameplay is the reaction that the AI has to finding downed enemies or even guard dogs after they have been killed. With the AI enemies talking about the loss, using their companion or friend's name, and just overall showing emotion and anger for what happened. The game excels in eliciting a range of emotions for the player. Moments of quiet exploration and character interactions are juxtaposed with intense combat sequence, creating a dynamic and emotionally charged atmosphere. The emotional impact is heightened by the realistic animations, facial expressions, and voice acting, all of which contribute to the overall immersion. In terms of improvements over the first game, The Last of Us Part 2 introduces refinements in gameplay mechanics and level design. The environments are more expansive, providing opportunities for exploration and discovery. The addition of new gameplay elements enhance the overall experience, keeping the gameplay both fresh and engaging. The narrative-driven gameplay is complemented by the game's stunning visuals and a meticulously crafted world. From lush landscapes to decaying urban environments, the attention to detail is evident, enhancing the overall sense of place and atmosphere. In summary, The Last of Us Part 2 delivers a gameplay experience that is emotionally resonant, intense, and thought-provoking. The overtly violent nature of the game serves a purpose in reinforcing the game's themes, and the improvements over the first installment contribute to an even more polished and captivating game experience.
Now, as a pastor and as a father, I will give you a couple of quick tidbits on whether or not you should allow your children to play this game. I have a 14-year-old child, and we have allowed him to play The Last of Us Part 1 with us sitting nearby and having very difficult and harsh conversations about the harsh world that Ellie finds herself in and that Joel finds himself in the world of The Last of Us Part 1. Now, that being said, The Last of Us Part 2 is a drastically different beast. The Last of Us Part 2 is something that we have not allowed our child to play, as it contains much more mature themes, and even was hard for me as a 35-year-old adult playing through that game. It was difficult for me to deal with and grapple with the realities of that game. After I was complete with the game, I actually had to put down all video games for 3 weeks just to deal with thinking about what that game made me feel. Now, another quick update with that is that if you have a sensitivity to LGBTQ characters in your games, we at Crossfire do not. We actually believe in inclusion of LGBTQ persons in the world and in the church. But if you are one who does not portray those in your household, this may not be the game for you, as it does portray a mainstream LGBTQ character. It also portrays a trans character. This is a trigger warning here for those of you who might be trans or have trans identities or trans individuals in your family. In addition to having a trans character, which I believe is groundbreaking in the portrayal in this video game, there is a trigger warning that it does dead name that trans character at one point in the game. So if that's something you're sensitive to, either the trans character or the dead naming of the trans character, those are things to be on the lookout for. Beyond that, most of the parental warning in this game is about the brutal violence, the fact that this is not just a game that portrays violence, but really portrays the emotion of the violence. This is a game where every single punch, every single shot has an emotional impact. You're not just taking out unnamed bad guys who are the opponents. When you take out another player, when you take out another NPC in the game, the other NPCs nearby call out the name of that person. Even the dogs go over and whimper next to the deceased body. It is an emotional impact, which is the first of its kind that I've ever seen in a game like this. So, for those reasons, I would say this is not a game to allow anybody under the age of 18 to play, and please, parents, be aware of those things.
The Last of Us Part 2 may be an older game, and many people ask the question, did it really need to be remastered? Game companies nowadays seem to be looking for a quick cash grab, including Naughty Dog with The Last of Us Part 1 release. However, I believe that Naughty Dog has put more thought, love, and effort into this package to warrant the re-release this time around. The base game itself is still its normal, wonderful masterpiece of a game. The graphics improvements aren't much, to be honest, but DualSense features, along with a little bit more, add more to the overall feel of the base game. However, where the game shines is the extras and new game mode that have been added. With Naughty Dog offering this remaster at a $10 upgrade cost to the original, they have really learned and listened to the feedback received from their last remastered game. Overall, the game is still amazing and even more fun to play with the addition of No Return. So, while it is a remaster, if you have not played the game, obviously we recommend picking this up. But if you're somebody that played it originally when it first launched, I beg you to pay the $10 to upgrade and get to experience the new game modes, as well as just going through the story one more time. It is why here at Crossfire Faith in Gaming, we score The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered a 5 out of 5.